everybody, my name is America. I'm a general surgery intern, or PGY1, here in the States, and this is my Q&A video. So I asked you guys on my Instagram to leave me questions that you had about my life as a general surgery intern, how the residency is going, or me moving into an entirely new location and living on my own, doing this whole journey by myself with my cat. So let's go ahead and answer some of your questions. Alright, the first one says, I'm in a surgical tech program and the instructors talk about growing a thick skin because surgeons are typically toxic and cocky. Do you think that's true? Much like any generalization, that's never 100% true. I'm sure there are cocky and toxic people in every field, and there are in general surgery residency too. I will say though, being a surgeon is kind of hard. So let's say I'm taking care of a patient who is septic. It requires that the phlebotomist draws the labs, the nurse checks on the patient, tells me when there's something wrong. It requires that the patient themselves is compliant and working with me. The pharmacist help to okay all the antibiotics I want to give my patient, and I could go on and on and on, but I can't do my job at all without at least 10 different people at any given time. I mean, these aren't like little machines, they're human beings with their little personalities and their attitudes or their beliefs or their 2 cents, and I have to deal with that all of the time. So I'm not saying that it's okay to be cocky or toxic. I will say, however, that my job can get a little bit stressful when you have to deal with so many people all of the time. I hope I never treat other people like that, because I don't like being treated that way. I mean, my job is very difficult, but I still try to be respectful to fellow human beings. I just feel like that's a fundamental principle in my life. How do you stay healthy and fit during surgical residency? Every time I post a vlog, you guys seem to rip me apart in comments about how horribly I eat. I promise I don't eat that bad. I am a normal weight. I do exercise 1 to 2 times a week. So it's not like I'm a completely lost cause, but since you asked, I'm gonna go ahead and answer. I think that the most important thing you can do as a resident, and honestly anybody, is to make your own food and not go out to eat or take fast food. When you go out to eat, those restaurants make food specifically to take your money, okay? They want you to come back and eat there again. So they make their food as delicious as possible at any cost possible. They make it filled with fat, filled with sugar, so that you can become addicted to their food and come back. Okay, that's just, I mean, they're not evil, they're just in the interest of making money. So every time you go out to eat, you're probably eating more than 700 calories at one sitting, with fried rice, or even sushi covered in cream and that crunch stuff that's really good, or pizza, or wings. Like, all of that stuff is so packed with calories. So eating at home, I mean, you don't know how to make things really good. I know I don't. So it really saves me money and heart disease potentially to cook at home. Then you have to think about what you're going to eat. And I'm Mexican, so I make a lot of Mexican dishes. I also really like Italian food. So I can go to the grocery store, buy them on Sundays typically, and then bring them back and cook. Another option that you can use that is actually pretty common amongst residents are groceries and food being brought to you at your house, so that you don't have to go grocery shopping. A great example being HelloFresh. HelloFresh cuts out stressful meal planning and prepping, so you can enjoy cooking and get dinner on the table in about 30 minutes or even 20 minutes with their quick and easy options. The packaging HelloFresh uses to ship your food is almost entirely made from recyclable and or already recycled content. HelloFresh offers so many recipes to choose from each week to help you break out of your recipe rut, which is pretty much one of my favorite things, because if it was up to me, I would cook beans and rice and spaghetti pretty much every night for the rest of my life, because that's kind of like the core of what I know how to cook. Easily change your delivery days or food preferences and skip a week whenever you need. HelloFresh is committed to making fresh, delicious food available now more than ever, and has taken extra steps to keep their employees and customers safe during this very tenuous time that we're going through. I really enjoy cooking. I think it's very therapeutic, and I get to do it at home, which is great for me. The food is still really good and the recipes are still really unique and exciting that I don't feel like I'm missing out on going to a restaurant. Go to HelloFresh.com and use my code REVERE80 for $80 off your next 5 boxes with free shipping on your first box. Ooh, this is a really good question. Hi America, med student here. Finally did my first suturing today on a patient. I was so excited, but my surgery tutors made a funny face, which made me feel insecure. Do you have any advice on the whole natural talent versus lots of practice? I really don't know how true this is, but if you've read Outliers from Malcolm Gladwell, he basically says that most professionals in their field have at least 10,000 hours of deliberate practice. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you want to be good at something, you have to practice. I mean, like, who's born being good at heart surgery? And if we're being real in this video, people that think that they were born to be surgeons and just have the attitude or whatever the heck, those are honestly like the worst people to work with. Next question. What do you like the least about surgery? So the thing I like the least about surgery is definitely the hours, and I think everybody who's a resident in any field can say that about their field. Maybe not dermatology, but they're different. On most days, I get home around 6 p.m. and I go into work around 6 a.m. So working a 12-hour day is just what it is every day. Sometimes it's better, but sometimes it's worse. Sometimes I get home at 10, and then sometimes I pull 24-hour on-call shifts, so I work a lot. All of my friends are at work, so when I'm at work, it's a great place to be, but I make sure that when I am home, it's a very lovely, comfortable, and pink and gray-toned place to be. How much time do you spend at work? I love surgery, but I'm afraid that it will take up my whole life. Well, it will take up your whole life. Maybe not your whole life, maybe at least 70 to 80% of it. So if you're not okay with that, then go get an office job. What's something you miss the most about medical school? Basically nothing. I don't miss medical school at all. Is your wage very low compared to the hours you work? You know, I actually haven't calculated how much I make an hour. I can't believe I haven't calculated this before. I always thought I made about minimum wage, but I probably make more. Oh, I make $15 an hour. I have 8 years of education, a bachelor's and a doctorate degree, and I make $15 an hour. Actually, wow, I really wish I didn't calculate that. Romance in residency. Oh my gosh. There's actually a lot of romance in like the medical field. Because everybody's, you know, in their late 20s, early 30s, and we're all around each other all the time. So, I mean, I notice things. And the sales rep people for all of the surgical equipment are always extremely good looking, and they take you out to dinner. Do you get much time to see friends, a partner, or maintain a social life? I think so. I think that if I really made it a priority to go out one day, then I could make it happen. Do you miss home? Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, like I mentioned, I'm here all by myself in a new state, away from my home state of Texas, away from all of my family. So at first it was really hard and I got homesick. I mean, now I'm kind of over it. No, I'm just kidding. Now I bought a credit card for flight miles so that I can fly my mom or my family over here. I can go over there. So that's what I have to do to see my family, and I actually got Christmas off, so I can't wait to see them. But you know, sometimes you gotta get your wings and fly away from home, guys, to get a better life for yourself, and that's what I'm doing, so I ain't mad about it. Is this all you dreamed and thought it would be? Are you happy? Wow, that's a really good question. I'm actually very happy. I was really worried though, because in medical school, so everybody knows that the suicide rate is a little bit higher for residents than the general population. So we had so many lectures over mental health and suicide in medical school that I honestly thought I would be in that kind of mental state in residency. But I'm not. I'm actually happy. Like, I'm not even close to being upset about my life. Like, I'm actually very happy and content with how things are going. I mean, like I mentioned, I don't make very much money, but it's enough to have a nice apartment, it's enough to buy some nice clothes and afford nice food and do things with my friends. I have enough time to see them, and I can always find my family to see me. And I really enjoy my work and everybody I work with. So I actually am very happy and content with life. I never really dreamed of residency being good. I always assumed it would be horrible. I'm not gonna say it exceeded my expectations, I just had no expectations. I expected it to be miserable. So it's not miserable. I guess it is kind of exceeding my expectations in that way. What was most helpful to you in figuring out the culture of a program? Okay, if you want to know if a program is malignant, ask one of the residents who is at that program, is this program malignant? They're either going to answer with, no, it's not malignant at all. I'm actually very happy here. Or they're gonna answer with this. Well, you know, not every program is great. There's always like a few bad apples, but overall it's okay. If they answer with that, it's a malignant program. If somebody really, really liked the program that they were at and the people that they work with, they would say it. They know that that's rare to find a program that's not malignant, and they would love their program like I do. So if they answer with that like mixed, oh well, you know, it's okay. I mean, not everyone's perfect, but it's okay. I mean, that to me is a big red flag that she or he is bothered enough that they can't even lie and tell me that their program is good. Do you have any IMGs or DOs in your program? Yes, I do. They're all amazing, and I mean, like, there's really no difference at all. I'm gonna go ahead and end with this question because this video is getting pretty long. Do you ever have imposter syndrome? Yeah, I mean, we all do. Especially if you're brand new, you know, like me, at 3 months in, an intern into a field that's basically a whole monster. I mean, you don't understand it. You're looking at people who say words and talk to each other, and then you can't even keep up on the conversation. Yeah, of course you're kind of like, how did I get here? How did anybody think that I was gonna be good enough for this? And I definitely had a day where I thought to myself, I cannot do this. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know how to do fundamental things. I can't do anything fast enough. My upper level is always disappointed in me. My attending thinks I'm an idiot. Like, there was a day where I wasn't doing anything right. And it really, really got to me, and I thought, you know, well, like, what if this isn't for me? Like, what if I'm not cut out for this? I'm just not that fast. I'm not that smart. You can either let that stuff hold you back, or you can let it motivate you. I showed up into work early, and I made sure I could sing every patient's history off to my attending. And I made sure that I was the one that was leading everybody in rounds. And I made sure that I was the one who was talking to the attending and not my chief. And I never wanted to feel again that I was not going to be good enough to be a surgeon, because you know what, America Revere has it and nobody knows it but me. And maybe you look at me and you don't think it. And I don't come from a family of general surgeons. Surgery does not run in my blood. But at the end of the day, I know that I can do it. I know that I'm going to be a chief and the boss one day, and I know I'm going to be able to handle it, because I'm not going to get there overnight and I'm not going to get there easily, but I know I'm in the right direction and I know I can do it. And you have to know that before you can really do anything, but especially general surgery. Alrighty everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments below. Thank you HelloFresh for sponsoring this video, and I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye everybody!